I remember being in Toronto as an investment banker, living life. However, I actually had some exams to pass. Going out, I saw Drake, I saw Meek Mill. Struggling to study for exams? Here are 5 tips that will help you perform better, and make sure you stay to the end for a bonus. What is up, guys? It's the boy, the LifeofSol, aka the bodybuilding banker. I know a lot of you are preparing for exams, the GCSEs, the A-levels, maybe university. It's just that time. I remember being at university, applying for investment banking and preparing for exams, and it was hectic. Here are 5 techniques that are proven that will help you perform a lot better. So the first tip I would tell you guys is to test yourself as soon as possible. One of the best ways you can do this is through active recall. Active recall is the idea of retrieving information from memory rather than just rereading it or reviewing it passively. We have this erroneous assumption that we need to put a lot of information in our brain. It's not the most effective way to learn. You don't learn by putting a ton of information in our brain. We learn by retrieving and pulling out information from our brain. The most effective ways you can do this is by using the Feynman Technique. Richard Feynman was a Nobel Prize winning US physicist that was able to use graphs to simplify difficult concepts. Feynman broke it down into 4 easy steps. For 1, choose a concept to learn. If you're studying for a particular exam, select the topic and make sure that you learn as much as possible from it. So once you feel more confident about the subject, use active recall as an opportunity to explain it to someone else. It could be your friend, brother, it could be your study partners, whoever. Once you've explained the concept, if you find yourself getting stuck, return to the source of information to fill out any gaps. Once you've done this, simplify your explanations, create analogies, and ensure that you understand the root of all the information. The second tip I'll give you is find your weaknesses and address them. When most people study, they have the tendency to focus on their strengths. When studying, drill into the topic so your weakness becomes your strength. Easiest way to do this is ask yourself, if the exam was tomorrow, what would be the topic I would struggle the most with? And then hone into that topic. Most of you won't know, but I actually studied engineering at university, and honestly, I found it the most challenging. It's because intuitively, I didn't really have a lot of interest in engineering. One of the effective ways I found when studying was I would take a subject that was really complex, learn it as much as I can, see if I can explain it to a stranger. If I could do this effectively and coherently, I felt more confident going into the exam. Another effective study technique is using mnemonics. Mnemonics are really handy when trying to remember large facts and retain information. Anytime I was doing a subject that required me to retain a lot of information, I would associate it with a song, I would make crazy acronyms. Anything that helps you recall information, use it to your advantage, and I think mnemonics is a great way to do this. Next one, and probably one of my favorite ones, is to try break down things into first principles. First principle is a basic assumption that can't be deducted any further. Working in investment banking and starting my own business, first principles are fundamental to solving any problem. You have to actively question every assumption. Ask why this happened, why again. It helps to form the basis of your understanding by stripping away all the detail, allows you to separate facts from assumptions, and allows you to create a constructive view. By doing this, you understand this topic from a fundamental basis. This comes in handy when you get one of those awkward questions that meshes different subjects and answer them from its basic root. Once you're at the very beginning of the problem, you can create new knowledge from scratch. Now, I know this might sound difficult and quite time consuming, but it's going to pay you dividend in the long term. An example of first principles would be a business is underperforming and they want you to analyze the problem and see what's going on. Using first principles, you would deduct it to a sales problem or cost problem. If they now answer and tell you it's a sales, you know sales is revenue minus cost. You go and say, is it revenue or is it cost? They might tell you that it's revenue. And the formula for revenue is price times volume. Is the price the same? Yes. So maybe it's a volume issue. You've systematically broken down the problem into the simplest parts to help you identify it and answer the question a lot more effectively. If you're enjoying this content, I've posted a video on the 5 ways to get shredded through science, and you should watch it here. I use first principles to break down strategies as to how I lost 15 kg. When it comes to studying, it's very difficult to focus. One of the best tips I used when studying was the Pomodoro technique. This is a time management exercise where you have, say, 20 minutes of focused work and 5-minute break intervals. Usually when you're studying for exams, you could be stressed and there's lots of things going through your mind. To allow the information to go through to your brain, it's best to focus on one single thing. So usually I focus on something for just 10 minutes. I say, no matter what is happening, even if there's a fire alarm, I'm just going to focus on this bit of information. This is really effective for two reasons. Firstly, it gives you a clear defined goal when it comes to studying. You just have to focus for 10 minutes and then you're done. Second is it gives you a mental break. It stimulates you to push forward because you're going to have a break later. If it's the day before your exam, the one thing I wouldn't sacrifice is sleep. I've talked about it in a previous video about the importance of sleep, and if you want to see it, just click here. There are two types of sleep. You've got non-rapid eye movement and rapid eye movement. I like to think of non-rapid eye movement as deep sleep where you dream and you have more of a mental restoration, and you've got non-rapid eye movement which is more of a physiological restoration. The cerebral cortex generates high voltage waves and consumption of energy by the brain is minimal. You can think of this sleep as dozing off where your muscles begin to relax, you still maintain a regular breathing tone. Sleeping cycles occur in 90-minute intervals and your non-REM sleep takes up about 3 or 4 cycles before you get to the REM sleep. I like to think of non-REM sleep as a courier service. It sports information from the hippocampus, which plays a crucial role in long-term information storage. Its job is simply to replace memories in long-term storage and attach emotion to the memories so they're difficult to forget. I've been there, right? Especially as an investment banker working late into the night. But forsaking sleep never pays off. You want your brain's ability to recall information to be optimum. So getting that extra bit of sleep, especially around the 7.5-hour mark, is so vital. Listen, we've all been there when we've had to cram. I've worked late into the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or sometimes 5 a.m. on particular deals. Having a good night's sleep is so vital when trying to recall an information. It's a long way, especially when you're in a stress state in an exam. It allows you to relax, relay on information that you've already been through. We tend to want to oversee all the information, but usually in an exam, we're tested on a few key concepts. Having a good night's sleep goes a long way in helping you record this information. Hope you find this information useful. These are just some of the tips I use, not only in my university exams, also for my GCSEs, A-levels, and my professional qualification exams. And I use some of these techniques and they help me not only ace the exam, but come top of the class. And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow for more tips and let me know what you want to see. Thanks for watching. It's your boy, the LifeofSol, aka the Bodybuilding Banker, and I'm now releasing my new coaching program for anyone that wants to be coached by an investment banker, a high-performing entrepreneur, whether you want to achieve certain goals, certain practices, develop healthy habits. I'm looking to take on 5 people as coaching clients who really want to get to the next level. If that's you, drop me a message or check out my site below where we can book a one-to-one free strategy call to align your goals and get you to your desired outcome. Peace.